Gaming is a type of entertainment that has just recently blossomed in the 1950s. The very first game was thought to be developed by a physicist, an interactive tennis game, in 1958, kind of like the game Pong. But now, gaming has come so far in less than a century, and the more advanced they become, the more effort and money it requires. In this video, sit back and listen as you learn about the most expensive video games ever produced. Starting with Grand Theft Auto 4. This game goes back to the late 2000s, developed by Rockstar North for $100 million. It's a single-person story set in the made-believe Liberty City of New York City. War veteran Niko Bellic is the main character, and you go through with him in his journey to leave behind his history as he encounters big criminals. You play the game in third-person view as Niko. It can also be played online with fellow gamers, about 32 people. If you've ever played this game and felt a sense of realism from the artwork, the team actually put the effort of capturing photos and videos around New York to incorporate into the game's world. It first released in April 2008, and if you're wondering if they ever made back that money put into making the game, the team earned $310 million in their first day. So that's triple yes. In 2013, it was ranked as one of the best video games ever sold, with millions of copies all over the world. Another third-person view game is Max Payne 3, and boy, is it expensive as well. Max Payne 3 took $105 million out of the pockets of its developers. This was one of the early 2010 games, and that now creates a sense of nostalgia in its early gamers who are now 10 years older. On May 2012, it was released as the sequel to the game Max Payne 2: The Fall of Max Payne. Players are put in the shoes of the character Max Payne, a retired detective. It's set 9 years after the second game, and now Max Payne is a private security contractor in Brazil. Later on, the adventure begins, and it's up to you to find out the ending. Gamers can assemble 16-player online mode as well. Just like Grand Theft Auto 4, the developers of Max Payne 3 did their research around Sao Paulo of Brazil for the design team to have a realistic basis. Aside from getting its geography as real as possible, they made the crime, the law, culture, and weapons as genuine as they can. It was supposed to be released in 2009, but it was always pushed back so it could have more development time and improvement. In the end, it was worth it because Max Payne 3 received high praise for every detail of the work, from gameplay to design and character. Another expensive video game developed and produced is one of the many that we are familiar with, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Developed by Infinity Ward, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 was released in 2009 by Activision, developed and created for $200 million. It's one of the most popular first-person shooter games since its first game was launched in 2003. In its first day of release, almost 5 million copies were sold in the United Kingdom and North America alone. In 2013, 22.7 million copies were produced for consumers and sold successfully. Be introduced to the world of modern warfare. Captain Soap McTavish commands Task Force 141. The head of the Russian ultranationalist party, Vladimir Makarov, was wanted, along with the intense plot lines that keeps the players on adrenaline. You can take the place of Captain McTavish, Sergeant Gary Sanderson, or Private James Ramirez to play the game. The development of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 started in 2008, just a year before its release. Conflicts in the game are inspired from real-life scenarios. As everyone knows it, anything inspired from real-life happenings will make the best games, so it wasn't much of a surprise when it was praised for all the detail added into the game. We're almost there, and if you haven't picked up on the hobby now, I suggest you try. Gaming's really fun. However, Call of Duty is nothing next to how much was spent on Cyberpunk 2077. Developed by CD Projekt Red, Cyberpunk 2077 has just been recently released in December 2020. As I said before, the more we advance in the gaming industry, the more expensive each game becomes. So expensive, in fact, that you can build an estate. Cyberpunk 2077 cost $313 million to be developed and produced, taking its influences from the Japanese manga and anime Ghost in the Shell, and films such as Blade Runner and a few more. It is an action video game where the player can roleplay as one of the characters in a first-person view in the shoes of a self-insert mercenary named as V. The story takes place in Night City, California, where all the fun begins. As for the top lister of this video, how much do you estimate it costs, and what game could it be? It's the game Destiny. Destiny is a first-person shooter game limited to online mode. It was developed by Bungie, and by 2014, Activision released the most expensive video game ever produced. The cost for development and production had the makers pulling out $500 million. The story is set in a fictional world of science fiction where gamers find themselves playing the character of a Guardian. Guardians are protectors of the only remaining safest city of planet Earth. They defend this land against aliens, and that's how simple the story sounds. But as you go through the game, you are immersed in a world of mythical creatures and objects that will broaden your imagination. They didn't gain back all the money in the first 5 days, but it was the biggest franchise ever launched. It received nominations such as Games Radar's Game of the Year in 2014 and the BAFTA Award for the Best Game. Have you ever played any of these games before? Are you a veteran gamer or a newbie? If you haven't gamed for a while, maybe you stumbled in this video for a reason.